Memorial Day weekend just happened. My Bucks are on a roll, and I am so excited, Quinn, to record
Dylan,
this
let me
episode.
stop you there. The dad jokes are back.
No.
Dylan, what's the difference between a
No.
poorly dressed man on a tricycle
No.
and a well-dressed man on a bicycle?
What?
Tire.
This is why we don't record consistently. Because I can't stay recording with you. But welcome, everyone, to the DQ Frenzy. Dylan Shields alongside my co-host, Quinn Schmiedel, as always, where we got the chill vibes and the cold takes. And we are not released every Thursday because you never know when we're going to come out because we got busy lives. And it was a holiday weekend. Yeah, the surprise factor. It's better than expecting something, right? That's how podcasts work and how you make money off of those. But hope you guys had a great holiday weekend, Quinn. I'm sure yours was good. Mine was good. As of recording Wednesday night, we are recording. I am going to the Pirates game tomorrow night, and we're on a roll. That's why I had to brag about it on our intro, winning 3 in a row and getting close to that division. We got NHL playoffs going on. Vegas just sweeping Colorado, which was insane. The President's Trophy winners looking awful, especially on the goaltending side of things against Vegas. And the NBA and the Knicks, unfortunately, go back to the finals. I know good for the Knicks players. I just can't stand New Yorker fan bases. Sorry. And James Harden. Quinn, you've experienced that man before the playoffs. Yeah, well, he pretty much pulled a Philly James Harden for Cleveland. But it's okay. Yeah. But analytically, they won the series. Analytically, they're the better team. That's all that matters at the end of the day. They don't need to go to the NBA Finals. Meanwhile, the Spurs Thunder has been a great series until the refs have been horrible to specifically coaches, not letting them challenge a play. But I'm not salty at all rooting for the Spurs or anything. No, I'm definitely impartial, and so is everybody else. But yeah, busy time for sports. World Cup coming up. I mean, 2026 is a pretty good year, but the NFL, which usually at this time is the least interesting part of the season around May to like July-ish till trading camp really gets going. Well, usually there's no news, but some people got to be stupid, Quinn. The DQ Frenzy News. Players can't stop getting arrested. Specifically, Green Bay's own Josh Jacobs. So yesterday he was arrested and he was charged on 5 counts of domestic abuse, including battery, criminal damage to property, disorderly conduct, intimidation, and strangulation and suffocation. Boy, that's just lovely to hear that. And as of recording just hours ago, he did get released. The DA stated that his office is not prepared to file formal charges yet because they need more evidence. And obviously, Jacobs is pleading innocent to all this as usual, but we're not going to know any details for a little bit. But yeah, boy, this just happened out of nowhere on a random Tuesday, and this is pretty crucial to Green Bay depending on what happens. I mean, I don't want to express my opinion until we truly know what happens, but similar to the little Cleveland Browns player, I feel like these aren't just, to me, accusations that are randomly thrown out there. 5 of these domestic disputes? That's not a good look. It's actually, he had more domestic disputes than 1,000-yard seasons, fun fact for you. The Packers might be screwed if this gets worse because their running back depth chart is a whole lot of nothing, a whole lot of filler. And looking at free agency, who they could possibly get, what do we got? We got Najee, Pirate Harris, we got Joe Mixon. I mean, the Cardinals have one too many running backs. Maybe they'll go get Algier or something, or God forbid James Conner off of injury. I don't know what Green Bay could do. Knowing the NFL and knowing how they handle these, he'll get suspended like 2 games and come back. if he's not in jail or prison, but more players doing stupid things. Seems to be the skill positions that love to have these things happen to them the most. Running backs, receivers, they just love to get in trouble. Quinn, what are your thoughts on this? This is a team that just had a bunch of ACL injuries, brutal playoff loss. They can't afford to lose any more guys. So what do you think, Packers
It's really
fan?
it's a shame these accusations don't just appear out of nowhere. It's a shame that there's so many. It feels like so many players throughout the years that get these sort of domestic abuse charges, and it's just, guys, what are we doing? Come on. But yeah, the Packers. Yeah, I don't know what will happen. Like you said, it'd probably be something that's like won't be very conclusive investigation wise, and then they'll just get suspended for like 4 games, and then it'll just be like, oh yeah, but you can still play football because we don't care about what you do off the field. But no, I think it's sad, and I mean it's rough for the Packers. Like you said, there's not really a lot of running backs in their good running backs on their team. So yeah, I don't know if they trade for Algier. Or, the Eagles have big speed. We use him, but we don't use him that much. I don't know if they try and trade for him because he did pretty well last year. But no, it's not a great position for the Packers or Jacobs.
Looking at their depth chart, Quinn, they got Chris Brooks, Marshawn Lloyd, and then their four stringers Pierre Strong Jr., which somehow I'm familiar with him the most out of anybody, which is crazy. Yeah, and Brooks hasn't played much at all. He only has carried the ball 27 times in his career for 106 yards, and that's it. Like, he really hasn't been on the field that much. I think he hasn't had many starts in general. I think he's only had like 10 starts in college as well. So he's not that experienced. Neither is Lloyd or Strong Jr. It's all a bunch of young, late draft picks is what I'm seeing. So
Not really a great look for the Packers in general either. They have no running backs besides one guy.
I mean, they're trying to figure out the other skill position receivers and trying to see what sticks, let alone this. This is the last guy they could afford to have to be either forced to cut or the dude ends up in prison. And even in free agency, nothing looks enticing. I don't want a Joe Mixon that I feel like disappeared into the Sahara, or one-eyed Najee Harris that all of a sudden became injury prone. There's just really not a lot out there, but they might not have a choice if this happens. Like, I really somehow think, as crazy as this is, he came off a brutal injury, that James Conner might not be the worst move to make. I don't know. Tyrod Taylor's one of their backups. Maybe he could be a running back. I don't know. Just something, but hey, at least it's a headline for us to have, even if it's for the negative reasons. But again, we just have to be on standby for that and understand, because he did get released, so it seems like this might be taken to court, and this might take a bit. And we don't know the details of what his status is. In terms of other news, since we last recorded last Sunday, not this upcoming Sunday, but last Sunday, unfortunately, Aaron Rodgers announced his return the last episode, and I expressed my grief, not just that episode, but for months. But pretty much in a kind of out of nowhere press conference moment, Rodgers basically confirmed that, yes, this is it. This is my final season. I think he joked too, but I bet you guys didn't expect that answer, huh? But yeah, no drama this time, no attention seeking from him. Just no, this is it. This is confirmed. This is kind of like a farewell tour thing. And I've heard people say that, man, maybe last year would have been the better retirement tour, since the opponents he played are a bunch of, like, he played his former team in the Packers. He was unfortunately injured in the Bears game, but that if he would have been healthy for that would have been cool. But instead, he's playing like the NFC South and playing a lot of teams that don't have history with him. So it's kind of a weird farewell tour for him to have, unless he plays the Packers in the Super Bowl, which that'd be a dream, wouldn't it? But yeah, I feel like everyone saw this coming. He stayed with the Jets for 2 years, and it seems like that's what he does when he signs a new team. It's a 2-year thing that he does, and it makes sense to get the band back together with McCarthy, even though people seem to forget they had an ugly falling out in Green Bay, but time heals all wounds, I guess, and Rodgers got his money, and yeah, I mean, I guess he's going to give everything he has, whatever he has left. Who the heck knows? The man was a statue in the pocket last year, which always is what I can't stand about bringing it back. But to be fair, we got Drew Howard, Will Howard, Mason Rudolph, which I wonder what they're going to do there. I have a feeling we're probably going to keep all of them, and unfortunately, if we're going to cut someone, I think Will Howard's going to be the guy that's going to go, because Mason, they like his experience. They're not going to get rid of a guy who started in the league before, and they didn't draft Howard. If they would have liked Howard, they wouldn't have drafted Howard. Bottom line. So he just has higher draft pedigree. So if they cut someone, it will be him. But I wouldn't be surprised if they kept all four, considering how injury-prone a 42-year-old man could be. But Quinn, you kind of have the more positive relationship with Rodgers, Packers being one of your teams, and having him be like MVP caliber for a long time and be one of the best throws of the football ever. So what are your thoughts on this officially being it for Rodgers?
I think it's a good fitting time to go out. There's probably a million different small, better ways he could have gone out or better schedule. But, I mean, sounds like he wants to play another year. So I think if he wants to play, then sure, you might as well, right? See what you can do. Last year wasn't super incredible. I think he believes he can get further than losing the wild card of playoffs, which I think he definitely can. So,
I don't.
He's Aaron Rodgers, man. He won a Super Bowl.
Against us. Yeah, asshole.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's appropriate for it to be his last year. It'll be fun to see him reunite with Mike McCarthy. I mean, like you said, it wasn't exactly a nice ending, but they can be like, oh, look, we did well for some of those years there, so run it back one more time. Why not, right?
As long as they beat Philly, that's good with me. I feel like the reuniting of them is kind of like high school, when you reunite with like a high school enemy or college enemy that you couldn't stand, and then you look back on it and laugh about it. That's kind of Rodgers and McCarthy. They'll probably look back at it and laugh, be like, boy, we were so stupid for making big deals out of things. That's what this reunion kind of reminds me of. But yeah, just more Steelers news. I'm tired of talking about him. I get you viewers are probably sick of us about him being on the headline of the DQ Frenzy news. And other big news, the other probably biggest news besides Rodgers and Jacobs, is Stafford's going to be playing not just this year, but next year, because he got extended by the Rams. So that's very interesting. Seems like Ty Simpson is going to take the Jordan Love route and probably sit for 2 to 3 years and sit under a really good veteran. And I think that's pretty much, I said it after the draft, that's as good of a start to a career, I think, as you could get for a guy that's, to me, not ready yet and that got drafted way higher than he should have. What a great spot to be in.
I think it's good. What worries me, though, about Ty Simpson is he sat on the bench for like 3 years at Alabama, played last year, did well enough to get drafted in the first round of the NFL draft, but now he has to sit for a few more years. I don't know how excited I would be as a Rams fan for him to take over as quarterback later on. I think he's in a great spot to learn from Stafford, but with only a year of starting experience, I'm not a huge fan of that. And maybe the Rams aren't either, which is why they're like, Stafford, yeah, more time and more money. And maybe Stafford's like, man, this organization's crap, go ahead and draft a quarterback instead of get me a weapon. And they're like, fine, here's $55 million.
And possibly $60 million with incentives. But yeah. I said this in the draft. I felt maybe they felt like they didn't need anybody. The only position I could see is receiver because Adam Skin Nolan and Puka's a weirdo. But I don't think they're going anywhere this season. So I felt like with the McDuffie thing, they felt like, oh, we're complete, which may be a little bit cocky to think that way, but you know, like I said, we said this about Jordan Love, and I know Love was a lot better in college, at least in my opinion, than Simpson was statistically, and more
Yeah.
experienced. But I'm just saying it could be a Jordan Love thing. I think this could really work out for Ty Simpson. Is he going to be on the caliber Stafford? Probably not when he starts eventually in 3 years. But there's really no excuses for him because he'll have great development. So I'm kind of more hopeful for him than others. Compared to someone
Trey
like
Lance.
Penix that got randomly drafted to a team that I feel like doesn't have the best people around him to mentor. And then Cousins ended up stinking and getting hurt, and then they just had to thrust him in. I felt like that was a little bit different than what Simpson has. So we'll see what happens. It'd be hilarious if Stafford got hurt and he has to step in and ends up being terrible like everyone assumes he will be. But
I'm gonna guess
yeah,
he's
I
gonna
feel
be a
like
little bit of a
well
Trey
deserved
Lance.
for Stafford. Well deserved for
Yeah.
Stafford. Obviously, probably he's literally the best quarterback in the league. Do want MVP? He was the best QB this year, bar none. So
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say Ty Simpson's gonna be a little bit of a Trey Lance. That's my guess. I don't think as
wow.
atrociously bad, but not great.
Other quick headliners, stuff that's not really huge, but got to be acknowledged. Dak Prescott was the winner of the PWFA League-wide Good Guy Award for being a great guy.
Whoa.
He's a good dude, man. He's good with the media. He's good with a lot of foundations and charities. First Cowboy in history to win it, which is the least shocking thing I'll hear, considering their history of players. But good for him. Mac Jones got a little bit of a bump in his pay, which I feel like is well-deserved. They agreed to a revised contract that adds a $300,000 roster bonus for his role heading this season. And a lot of people are saying Mac Jones could be the next Sam Darnold. And while a lot of people are saying that and might dispute that, I see why. I'm kind of surprised the Niners didn't want to get rid of him, but I guess with Purdy's injury history, you want to keep a good quality backup in there. But I could see possibly next year someone giving him a chance. Possibly. Could be my team, to be honest, but we'll see. And then the Cowboys, they officially moved veteran wideout Paris Campbell, if you've ever heard of him, to the reserve retire list because he retired. So there you go. Just groundbreaking NFL news. Boys, we are deep into the offseason.
The only other news, which isn't really anything crazy, is Daniel Jones expects to be ready before week 1 for the Colts.
I wonder what that means for Mahomes, considering their injuries are pretty similar. I believe Mahomes, or who got injured first? I believe it was Mahomes that got hurt first. I could be wrong. Or maybe they're around the same time. I could be wrong. Like we did last offseason, what we did is we took a look at each division every week and give them a little bit of a preview of what we think they're going to do and recap what they did last season, free agency, and the draft. So we're going to call this the DQ's Divisional Deep Dive. Lots of iteration there. And we're going to start from worst to first. And obviously, the worst division was the NFC South because your division winner had an 8-9 record. They are used to that in that division. It was shockingly the Carolina Panthers, who despite losing in the last week to Tampa, got in because the Falcons beat the Saints. Most underwhelming way to make a playoffs ever. But they took the Rams to the limit. Like, a lot of us thought they were going to beat them, but too bad their defense is atrocious. But in terms of the offseason, it was protect Bryce Young. That was their strategy. That's kind of been their strategy for a while. And it seems like the front office spent a lot of their cap space on specifically the interior line and as well to establish a physical run identity as well. Shaq Thompson, losing him kind of stinks leadership-wise, but they did use the draft to kind of replace that. And basically, they're trying to build not just the trenches, but weapons around him. So that way, Bryce doesn't really have to carry the team. But this is a big make or break year for Bryce. He's kind of been up and down, lots of downs the first 2 years, but he's gotten a lot better. But he needs to be better than 8-9. I know he made the playoffs, but he kind of got lucky in the division he's in. This feels like a big make or break year for him to really prove it that he is their guy. And I'm rooting for him. He's a likable guy. I was born in Charlotte, so I'm a little bit biased in terms of Carolina being a team I like to root for. But I wish the best for him. He's got great weapons. He's got a good running back in Chuba Hubbard, who I know has his haters and likers. He can be up and down, but he can turn it around. And then Tedero McMillan, great receiver, won Offense Rookie of the Year for a reason. And I love that they went interior line. I love that they went to protect Bryce, but as well fix that secondary that was a disaster last season. And yeah, the division in general is just so tough because it feels like anybody could win it because no one really stood out at all. So I don't know. I could see Carolina winning it. I could see them being in the middle. I could see them be dead last. I could see any possible scenario. I don't know what to think of Carolina, but I'm a little bit hopeful after that Rams playoff performance that Bryce could be the guy, and Carolina's on the up and up. I'm hopeful, at least.
Yeah, I think I'm a fan of the Panthers. Well, okay, maybe not a fan, but I think they have they're one of the most interesting teams to see what happens this year. I mean, like you said, they've added a lot in the offseason. I mean, they paid Jane Phillips a lot of money, but like they got Devin Lloyd, a left tackle as well, Walker, drafted a tackle, Georgia Freeling, from Georgia, Monroe Freeling. Yeah, they're certainly putting pieces around him. I think the Panthers had some good games last year, especially against the Rams there in the playoffs. I think they have a lot of potential. They're a young, energetic team. But yeah, a lot of it depends on Bryce Young and how he's playing game to game. But I think they're going to be one of the more exciting teams to see what happens this season.
I agree with that, definitely. They'll definitely be intriguing. In second place was the completely collapsed Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who finished 8-9. And having a great start to the season. They had a pretty good above 500 record, and then they just completely collapsed the last month of the season to miss the playoffs. And because of technicalities, they couldn't make it even after winning in week 18. So what Tampa Bay do? They signed Jake Browning. That is their move of the offseason, baby. Tampa Bay got their new guy. Now, they obviously retooled their secondary. I've talked about how much I love the Ruben Bain pick and how I think they might have gotten a big steal from him trying to improve that defense. Losing Mike Evans really sucks. And I know he might not be his elite self that he used to be with the consistent 1,000 yards, but he was always a quality guy to have. But they still have Ibuka. They still have Chris Godwin. Bucky Irving can hopefully bounce back after a struggling season last year where he just couldn't consistently stay on the field. And Tampa, to me, I feel like people usually crown as the winner. I thought they were going to win. I'm pretty sure you did too, or had a guess that they would win the division, just because the past few years, Baker's had a career revival. He's done really well with that team. It seems like it was a good fit for him. You really feel like the weakness is their head coach. And I know that's kind of popular to crap on Todd Bowles, but it's kind of like a what does he do type of thing. I feel like he looks depressed every time he's on the sidelines. What does he do? Does he motivate his players? What he doesn't call? I don't think he calls any plays from what I see on offense or defense. So he kind of feels one of the most just there coaches I've ever seen. I feel like losing Liam Cohen kind of stunk for them last year too. He really helped out Baker in that offense 2 years ago. And, the front office is not happy that they choked, especially to Carolina of all teams. And on paper, you really think, despite losing some guys, you feel like they should win this division. Just because I feel like they by far have the best quarterback in the division. They usually have the most consistency. Usually. But last year they collapsed. Pretty much like all they have to do is like not collapse and the division is theirs. Remember that brutal Falcons loss where they gave up like a 3rd and 26 or something? Like, you win that game and you're in the playoffs. Like, just some brutal losses that they've had. But I expect them to still be competing for the playoffs. They're the one team out of anyone in the division that I'm like, they're not going to be terrible. They're kind of like Pittsburgh. They're going to be anywhere from 8 to 11 wins. That's usually Tampa's ceiling, usually. And I'd expect no different. They're going to compete for the division, but they never just seem to be on that top tier, like Super Bowl contender. I just think it's going to be more of the same, maybe just a little bit better than 8-9 losing a division.
Yeah, I think the Bucks really just the injuries did them in last year. I mean, Mbuka was kind of starting to come out, and so I guess they felt comfortable trading Mike Evans and leaving. It'll be interesting to see what the offense looks like without him, because Mbuka was quite good, but then he was injured a lot, and there's some games he didn't look fantastic. Bucky Irving is supposed to be the new guy that everyone had, or the guy that has 100 fanboys because he's Bucky Irving for some reason. People love him, especially after last season. But like Dylan said, he wasn't really on the field that much. So if they're healthy, I think they can do pretty well. Baker has been doing pretty well. But as we see in this offseason, he does need some people who can catch the ball. And needs to stay healthy for most of the time. But
yes.
Bucks, I think, are a safe bet to get into the playoffs. I mean, they should be back. But will Chris Godwin be their number one, or Mbuka? I feel like Mbuka, but he's only been here a year.
I feel like it could be Godwin, but turns into Mbuka. It's Godwin at first because of the veteran presence, and then Mbuka emerges throughout the season. Could see that.
I think that's reasonable. Yeah, but they're a little more unsure now because of losing some guys. So across the defense as well. So I don't feel as good about them as I would have last year, but the Ruben Bain pick seems like another Jalen Carter kind of steal. So that's great. But
he feasts in the darkness. That was cringe. Moving on to the Atlanta Falcons. We go from a team that collapsed at the end of the year to a team that surged, even if it was the most useless late surge I've ever seen from a team. But hey, they beat the Rams too later in the season. And another team where injuries just absolutely crushed them. But they won their final 4 regular season games with Kirk Cousins, with Penix being out for the year. And what did they do? They got Tua. They got Concussion Man himself, because we need 2 lefties that can't stay on the field. That move to me just... Part of me, I get you got to sign somebody because you got rid of Cousins and Penix. We don't even know if he's going to be back for the start of the season or if he's going to start. But maybe not the right guy to sign when there are maybe a little bit better options there. They also added kicker Nick Folk after the disaster that was Younghoe Koo. The poor man was so good, and then he completely collapsed last year, and they had to cut him. Pass rusher Samson Ibukam, which I feel like is a pretty good move. They've needed pass rush depth for a while. And they also traded for Jacksonville's defensive lineman Mason Smith. So they're really focusing on the pass rush, which I feel like is necessary. And Stefanski being their new guy at the helm, I like his offensive mind a lot better than Raheem Morris. The Falcons kind of completely doing pretty bad with their past few coaching hires of Raheem Morris and Arthur Smith. Just couldn't get anything going. Michael Penix, he's doing 7-on-7 drills reportedly, just not ready yet for 11-on-11. So it's probably going to be a competition that I expect Tua to win it. I know that might be a deflating thing to say, but a little more experienced. Tua's still a very accurate passer. It's just he can't stay on the field, and that's kind of caused his ability to decline in Miami. The Falcons really feel like a team to me that should win the division every year, similar to Tampa, or should be competing with Tampa, but they don't. I feel like they're kind of, I don't want to say a quarterback away, but almost to me like a competent quarterback away from at least competing for the division. I wouldn't say Super Bowl, but at least getting that 4 seed, getting that home playoff game, but yet for some reason they don't. And that's a shame because they're going to waste Bijan's career because that man might be the best running back in football, if not one of the best running backs. That man is just electric to watch on the field. Drake London, too, another very solid receiver when he's on the field. Even Kyle Pitts kind of had a renaissance of a season after years of waiting for him to break out. But then again, it's just no consistency. You just don't know what you're going to get with the Falcons. They still, for some reason, love to collapse in big games. They missed an extra point against the Patriots randomly to lose. They find weird ways to lose games they shouldn't lose. And somehow with Kirk Cousins, they looked so much better than with Penix. And that's why, to me, Tua's probably getting the start. And they're going to see how he does with this offense to see if he can do what he did kind of when in Miami and his better years there. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we'll see. They're one of the biggest shrug emoji teams to me of the season. I could see them somehow winning this division with the talent they have. Again, they got probably the best running back in football. Great receivers. Maybe receiver depth is to be questioned, but they have good weapons. And the defense is improving. The pass rush was a lot better last year than in previous years. It's really down to the quarterback. It's really down to the consistency and the health, which, boy, banking on health of 2 guys, though, for their injury history, just genius stuff. I literally don't know what to think of them. They're another team that I feel like could bottom out and that could also win it.
I feel like the Falcons are one of those teams that has random streaks during the season where they're just bad. And you're like, what? I thought you were supposed to be somewhat good. Look at your you have Bijan Robinson and Drake London and Kyle Pitts. What are you doing? And they're like, no, we want to lose these games, man. We'll find a way to lose. I don't know. It's really weird because they do have a lot of talent. And, I don't know. I think they could be a team that looks pretty different throughout the year, though, because I agree. I think Tua's going to get the starting job. Penix is kind of just floundering there and am I good? Am I not? I don't know, man. I'm just going to throw the ball around. At least we know Tua has talent. Tua's talent will, I think, get him the starting job. And I mean, he's not bad, but he has to stay on the field and not make some bad decisions as well. But the Falcons, I think, could do pretty well this year. I mean, if Tua picks up kind of where he was in Miami when he was better, I mean, Drake London and Kyle Pitts can certainly catch the ball. Bijan can catch the ball in the backfield, run it. They could be a very exciting team this year, but it just depends on whether they decide to go through their streaks of we're just going to lose games because who needs to win, right? We're supposed to get a good draft pick, right? That's how that works. But I don't know. I think they have the highest ceiling. I feel like right now of all the teams in the division.
You agree?
But it just depends on whether they want to or not, whether they feel like it, and if Tua can ball out or not.
And again, it's their receiver depth that concerns me. They did sign your boy Jahan Dotson, so he's going to be their receiver too. I don't know how to feel about that. And Oladame Zaccheaus as their receiver 3. So at least it's some decent names. But I just, again, it's the depth that concerns me. It's a little bit better than last year, but it still feels like okay, mostly we're going to focus on London. And the pressure's on him and Pitts to deliver for them. But I completely agree with you. Highest ceiling, but also could be possibly the lowest floor, too, which makes you nervous as a fan. And on to the team that finished last, but I feel like fans are hyping up a little bit the most. That's the New Orleans Saints. That's kind of been the sneaky trend of the season. Which, despite finishing last, they did go 5-4 down the stretch to the last of the season. Because Tyler Shough looked pretty good. Like, I don't think he looked world-beating, but he looked like a competent franchise quarterback to me. And they did do well against the division, against Carolina and Tampa Bay in general. They went 3-1, and they did sign
Pretty
Travis Etienne Travis A-Chain, let's get his name right, to a deal, because Kamara, who is still going to be with the Saints, but kind of more of a backup role because of injury history and age. So, decent signing there. They did sign Noah Fant as well. Zach Wilson's their backup, so look out, baby. That competition's going to be great. Yeah. They also signed guard David Edwards to protect him. And in the draft, they drafted Tyson, which I really like that draft pick. I really liked Tyson in college at ASU, and I expect big things from him, especially because Olave, his injury history concerns me, and the dude just needs help because, again, they lack depth there too. And as well, Oscar Delp, who was a pretty good tight end in college as well. They really are the dark horse. I almost feel like they're a little bit too overhyped because, again, they were 6-11 and they haven't been good since the Breeze days. I don't know about. I mean, yeah, like I said, any team could win the division, but the Saints, man, I don't know. Like, they seem like they just scream 8 to 10 wins. Like, better than last year, but average to me. Nothing that really is going to make me think, oh my gosh, playoff contenders, division contenders instantly. But I do feel like they'll be a lot better. And I feel like last season was the best season they've had in a long time, just because of the hope of Shuck being the guy. This is kind of the thing with every team in the division, except Baker Mayfield, which even then there could be questions about him, is they're trying to find their guys in the NFC South. And the Saints might have the best hope right now. Shockingly, we wouldn't have thought that last season, but they might have the best hope because I don't think it's so much a prove-it year for Shuck like it is for Bryce Young. Like, hey, you're the number 1 overall pick. This needs to be your year. This is more of like an out of nowhere, like, this guy's doing pretty good. Maybe he'll be on the up and up this year, along with the team. I just don't know about winning the division, though, with the Saints. It doesn't, to me, seem likely, but ETN being there, some of the moves they made, I mean, I like what the Saints did. I can't hate on it. I'm just pessimistic, that's all.
Yeah, I think the Saints could do much better this year. They certainly had some good games last year, and it just depends on if Shuck is good or not. I mean, I like Kellen Moore. I think he's he's a very good offensive coordinator.
Bias.
Won the Super Bowl. But yeah, I mean, come on. Super Bowl winning. I think he has a good scheme, good system. I like his teams, and I mean, well, not the Cowboys, screw them, but that was I like him with the Saints. I think it looks good. ETN, I like that signing. I mean, ETN was, I think, overall one of the better running backs in the league. Sometimes he has some weird times or games, or he had kind of a weird season last year, and then the Jags are like, we want to use you. Oh, I guess we'll use you. Oh, we're going to trade you. Oh, no, we'll trade your backup. What? I don't get that.
Yeah.
But I think ETN's a good signing there, and Kamara to come in and pull off some explosive runs or something. They could be a very interesting team. Olave, still on the team, still pretty good. I think he had some injury concerns last year.
A lot of concussions.
Concussions, yeah. So, I mean, I don't think their roster is phenomenal, but I mean,
is anyone in the division's phenomenal? Not really.
No, not at all. I did like having Rashid Shaheed on the team, but he got a Super Bowl ring now. So
he had to go win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. So I think the Saints could have potential. I don't think they're cleared divisional winner or anything, but I think they'll do better. I don't think they'll quite finish last, or they'll be within a game or two. I think safely I can say they'd be within a game of another team. Even if they are last, they're going to be close to being tied with everyone else record-wise. So,
don't forget perennial fantasy football frustration, Taysom Hill, who for some reason is listed as a tight end, even though that's like the one position he doesn't play. To me, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
They'll use him for like one game. That's the thing. He'll go off for like 1 or 2 games a season, then that's it. Back to the bench you go. It's the weirdest thing ever.
Why do people even take him anymore?
And he's not a
I
good
don't know.
quarterback. Like, he's really not. The few starts he had, he wasn't good, but he could do other stuff. So,
Yeah. I know, man.
well, that's your look on the NFC South. You'll see what division we have next week. We'll decide. To me, I'd say maybe like I don't know, AFC South maybe. Might as well do the Southern counterparts, even though it was a little bit better last year, but still looked at as a weaker division. I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe NFC East, only one playoff team, and they lost. Maybe that'd be an insult to you, but who knows? For my money, by the way, this is like really early, and we won't do divisional predictions till way later this season. I'd say either Tampa or Atlanta, with a slight edge on Tampa right now winning the division. If I were to place my bucks right now, we'll do this for every division, kind of like a quick, like, oh, that's what I think. But Quinn, do you have any thoughts? Any betting odds?
I'm gonna say one team I think will win it now. This will be revised later on when we do our formal predictions. But for now, I mean, like I said, I think the Panthers can certainly have a great year. So I'm gonna go ahead and say the Panthers. I'm not gonna trust Tua to play well, and the Bucks are. I feel like I can kind of trust them, but also I can't. But I'm gonna say the Panthers.
Panthers, Bucks. All right, different. We'll see come August if that stays the same. But it is time to have some fun. Time for the fun segments. And Quinn, I got a brand new segment.
Ooh.
I had my Tomlinism of the week, but Mike Tomlin is now retired on NBC now. I could keep that segment going, but I want to change things up a little bit for the season. So, what you're going to get instead is Buddy D's Braid Freeze. I don't have an intro yet, but there you go, which is the complete opposite of a braid freeze, but shut up, don't judge me. So basically, what I'll do is have a couple, maybe one, anywhere from 1 to 2, maybe even 3, like fascinating facts about the NFL or just like any sport that maybe some of you know, but I doubt any of you would possibly know, and that it's pretty mind-blowing to you. I know it's not visually exciting, but shut up. It's my segment. I do what I want. And plus, it's cool. It's something exciting. So, Buddy D's Braid Freeze, just because it's the first one, I'm going to start with 3 fascinating facts for you. This one, I don't know if Quinn knows this one because you're a big Chiefs fan. And this man saved your franchise. But we call this one the $500 million direct message, or DM. So in 2017, when Mahomes was drafted, his camp couldn't find his primary trainer, which was Bobby Strope at the time, through an agency or scout. Because Mahomes' camp or team actually found him through a random Instagram DM recommendation from a former high school teammate. So that single DM got Mahomes in contact with the Chiefs and completely changed the history. Who knows what team Mahomes is on if that DM isn't there? Is he stuck in Chicago? Who the heck knows? Would they have ruined him? Probably, but that's pretty fascinating, Quinn. So you got that DM to thank for your one of 3 teams you root for.
Connections. I like it.
Speaking of connections, Matt Stafford Cooper Kupp had an elite connection. It was pretty famous.
That's
and
true.
This one I kind of knew, but I didn't know in this much detail. It's called the Super Bowl Secret Sleep Ring. So during their 2022 Super Bowl run, obviously they had an elite connection. And it was later revealed that they had a highly classified, invite-only text group called the Breakfast Club. They used data tracking from their smart mattresses and sleep wearable apps, such as Whoop, which is a very popular app, to synchronize their sleep schedules so that they would hit peak REM cycle recovery at the exact same hour the night leading up to the Super Bowl. I kind of remember something like this because I remember people such as our boy Ben Schormer Brand joking about like their chemistry versus like Burrow and Chase's, and joking how close they are with each other. But I didn't know they went as far as using that app to synchronize sleep schedules. Hey, they won the Super Bowl. Kupp got the game-winning catch, so there you go. Cooper Kupp's your boy too, Quinn. It's a lot about guys you like. But
I like this segment.
the final one, this one's pretty insane. It's the Bitcoin bench warmer. So this is all the way back in 2019. An obscure NFL offensive lineman named Russell Akun, who I don't think's in the league anymore, demanded that the Carolina Panthers pay half of his $13 million salary in Bitcoin. Insane. The media mocked him relentlessly at the time for it. And by the time he retired, because he retired from the league, that financial joke of a decision actually made him statistically higher paid than almost every elite tackle in the NFL that season due to the crypto surge, because that was around the time it got huge. So it turned a journeyman lineman into one of the most financially successful single-season athletes. So that man probably made hundreds of millions of dollars off of that because of that surge. And I barely know the dude. It's insane how much we mocked that app at the time. And now it's got its own issues, Bitcoin, but like it's a risk to take, but hey, look at what it got him. That is just crazy. So yeah, that is your Buddy D's brain freeze. I promise I'll come up with a better intro. But yeah, that's what I'll be doing week to week. And it definitely wasn't Google Gemini that came up with that. I definitely did elite research for this. But yeah, just mind-blowing facts about that stuff. And like I said, the Cup and Stafford one, details, weird sleep schedule details aside, kind of knew about this. But the other two, no clue. That's crazy.
Really interesting. I think it was definitely fun and mind-blowing facts. Brain-freezing facts.
Oh, I was late to the party. But Quinn, it's time. I'm going to give you the floor for your fun stuff.
Thank you. So, Dylan, today we're going to have a few blind rankings. You're going to have 5 spots. I'm going to give you a theme.
I've had a good track record. Let's keep it going.
Yeah. So, first up, you're going to rank the best feelings. These are all different feelings. You have to rank which one you like best at number 1, 5 the worst, without knowing what comes next. So, first up is you are going to, so the first feeling is using the bathroom after holding it for a while.
Using it after holding it for a while. Oh man. I'm gonna go number 2 there. It honestly is it really is a great feeling. It's like refreshing. It's kind of relieving because of how horrible physically, mentally the pain is before you go. It feels great. Simple as that.
Yeah. All right. Next up is lying down in bed after a long, stressful day.
We'll go number 3 there. I mean, it's a good feeling, but when you have a long, stressful day, sometimes lying in bed, sometimes you're not in a good mood. You're maybe just relieved that the day's over. But it is a great feeling, especially if you're moving around, running around a lot, and your legs are killing you. That is a great feeling on your legs and so soothing when you're laying in bed. But what a long, stressful day, sometimes it's like you're not in a good mood, even if you at least get to lay down, because you got to get up the next day.
It's true. All right, next up, you have 1, 4, and 5 left. So choose wisely. Next feeling is waking up and realizing you still have like 3 hours of sleep.
5. Because why did I wake up in the first place? It sucks. I want to sleep through the whole way. I don't want to get up and go pee at 3 a.m. or something. I mean, maybe it's kind of good that, like, I don't have to.
You wake
get
up
right
and you're
out
like,
of bed.
I have to get up. Oh no, I still have 3 hours of sleep left. Wow.
I've had those feelings, and I've never been like, I mean, it's maybe been a relief type of feeling. Then don't have to rush out of bed, especially back in the good old school days. But
yeah,
I'd go 5. I think there's a lot better feelings in that.
All right. So you have 1 and 4 left. And the next feeling is you hit the perfect driver shot. So goes right where you want it to, goes perfectly straight, and the sound is just the perfect tee off sound.
4 because I've never had that happen in my life. So I don't know what it's like.
All right, you know what? Fair dues. And finally, so that means your number one feeling is walking into an air-conditioned room on a hot summer day.
I'll take that any day because, oh my gosh, when it's like sticky out, thank goodness it's like nice and cool out now. That is the worst feeling, especially whether you go on a run or just when you're out all day doing something. It is one of the best feelings ever. It really is. So I'm fine with it at number one.
All right. So yeah, number one, you have walking to the air-conditioned room during the summer. Number two, you have using the bathroom after holding it for a while. Three is laying down in bed after a long, stressful day. Four is hitting the perfect driver shot sound flight placement. And five is waking up and still realizing you still have time to sleep.
I'll take it. I'm telling you, good streak with my games right now. I'm definitely not going to jinx this. No, I've been doing good.
Yeah, not at all. All right. Next up, we're going to do NFL teams that are most likely to get regulated. So in soccer and Premier League, the worst, I believe, 3 teams get relegated down to the league underneath, and the best 3 get moved up. So in this world, the NFL has a minor league and it regulates some bottom teams. So I'm going to give you
Where they're going to the
teams.
UFL.
Yeah, UFL. All right. So first up, we have the Cleveland Browns.
2.
We'll say more recency bias because, you know, some teams have just been awful for a long time. Some teams like the Lions have been better recently. So we'll say recently as well.
We'll go 2.
So number 2 for the Browns. Okay.
Because it'd be easy to put them at 1 because they're the Browns. They're a joke, perennial joke. But they have an elite defense. Let's not forget that. If they have any shred of a competent offense, they could be a good team. But it is the Browns.
All right. Next up, I'm giving you someone we just talked about, actually. The Atlanta Falcons.
We'll go 4 there because they're just mid. They're kind of just there. They're not terrible, and it's kind of funny to see them choke from time to time. They haven't been really terrible in a while. They're just mid.
Right. Next up, I'll give you the New York Jets. Jets.
1.
Yes.
Easy 1. Easy number 1. Are you kidding me? Ruining Rodgers. When's the last time they've had a good quarterback? They haven't won a Super Bowl since the 60s. They haven't made the playoffs since 2010. They are the easiest team to relegate. I can't stand Jets fans, too, because they're a lot mouthy. I can't tell who I can't stand more. You Eagles fans, Cowboys fans, or Jets fans. They're like, ugh, can't stand any of you. So easy number 1 to the Jets. Sorry, Rich Eisen.
All right. So that means you have spot number 3 and 5 left. Next up is the Chargers.
5. I'd like to relegate Dean Spanos for moving them from out of San Diego, but they're a good team. I kind of have a little bit of preview for when we preview the AFC West, which might be a while. I got some hope for the Chargers, which usually every year we have hope for the Chargers, but yeah, they're relevant at least.
I think the Chargers will be one of the more exciting teams this year with getting Mike McDaniels as their offensive coordinator. It'll be interesting to see what happens. So that means one team left goes into spot 3. So at number 5, as least likely to get regulated, is the Chargers, followed by the Falcons at number 4. At number 3, the mystery team is the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 2
damn Chiefs there
is the Browns, and number 1 is the Jets. So
I knew it.
Not terrible.
From a selfish fan perspective, I think we'd like to. Besides you, I think we'd like to relegate the Chiefs and get Mahomes and Kelsey away from our lives. We kind of did last year. We relegated them to the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, not bad. A little bit of a stinker with the Chiefs there. But,
also, too, a bunch of softies from our generation hate the name Chiefs. They think it's controversial.
Oh, yes. Yeah, because...
So there you go.
Horrible. Yeah. All right. Then last up, the last ranking, full life. So you never have to pay for these things again. And we're going to start with video games.
If this was...
And consoles.
10,
and
if this was 10 to 15 years ago, this might be in the top 2. I don't really game as much anymore, so we're gonna put that down at 4 because it would
Or
be cool to have unlimited access. I would love a PS5 and a Switch, and I'm mainly more of a sports game guy, so I mainly play those. If GTA 6 could ever exist in this realm, that'd be awesome to have that for free. Like, I'll play that, COD. I played Halo with you before. I play some of those games, but I'm mainly a sports guy. I know I'm boring with that. I just don't game as much anymore as I used to as a kid. So 4.
yeah, I think that's a good move. Video games kind of fade out when you get old. All right, next up is airline upgrades. Infinite airline upgrade. First
We'll
class.
go right. We'll go right in the middle at 3. Because for one, who knows with whatever career I do, I might have to travel more. I don't travel much, and for two, I've flown a lot from college in the smallest airplanes you can think of, and while the flights have been short, I've been fine. So I know I haven't been on a lot of the normal type of airplanes where you got to deal with a lot of people, possibly babies screaming, or people kicking you from behind, or people laying down behind you, which is some of the worst sins you could commit on a plane. But it would be awesome to have first class. And like I said, I know it's a biased thing because I don't travel often, but I'll say 3. Not the most important thing I need for free for life.
All right. Although I will say something that's probably a good chunk of money if you do fly somewhat often, or even just
It's true.
once a year. All right. Next up, a reminder: you have 1, 2, and 5 left, so you're in a pretty good situation here. Or are you? Boom, boom, boom. Next up, you have game tickets. So Super Bowl, Steelers game,
I kind of knew you were
any
going to say
sports game
that.
ticket. We are a sports show.
Because I got to think of importance here. I got to think, because it's easy for, like, oh, I love it. I can go to the Super Bowl Steeler game whenever I want. Let's put it number 1. But I got to be realistic and think about life and everything. So what do I have open again? Is it 1, 2, 5?
1, 2, and 5.
It's going to be a hot take, but I'm going to say 5.
Wow. Okay.
It's going to be a bit of a hot take. Well, for one, you're kind of going to a game to see if it's entertaining or not. These past 2 Super Bowls have stunk in terms of entertainment. They've been over by the 4th quarter. I didn't know you said any sports event. I know that's kind of tough for a sports head like me to say that, but I'm thinking in terms of, like, importance. I like watching the game from the comfort of my home, so I'll say 5. I know. I'm going to get roasted for that one, but
Everyone just clicked off video. Like, sports people don't even want to go to sports? Ah, what are these guys doing?
yeah.
All right. I think you probably made the best choice in terms of spots left. So, number 1 and 2 left. Your next category is gas. Free gas, rest of life.
Number 1. Number 1 is, oh, man. Are you kidding me? I don't even want to talk about how bad it is right now, man. And apparently they're going to go down soon. We'll see. So, yeah, easy number 1.
I think that was the best choice. Although, who knows? Maybe by 50 you'll be driving electric vehicles and you won't even need gas. But we'll count that under, like, power to travel.
Nah.
And that means you're number 2. I'll reveal that to you in a second. So number 1, you have gas. They're the best things free for life. Number 2, you get free Chick-fil-A for the rest of your life.
You said that was. Oh, you said, like,
well,
you were saying, like,
food.
oh, that's the best 2 you left. I mean, yeah, I love Chick-fil-A, but for a while, I guess I could get it whenever I want, but I don't know.
I was going for the necessity thing. We were talking about that, and food is one of most. Food is a lot more important than airline upgrades at number 3.
I need my waffle fries more than I need to go to a free Super Bowl.
Yeah, Super Bowl at number 5. But yeah, I think personally, I think I would have gotten gas.
As long as I got gas at 1, yeah.
Yeah, I probably would switch video games to 5 and game tickets to 4. But otherwise, I think you're listening pretty good. But yeah,
Quinn, I got some for you now.
Wow!
It's not just me playing this game; it's you that's going to be playing this game. And guess what we're doing? We're going back to our bread and butter. We're going back to the $15 to spend, and then after that, I've got a brand new segment, which we kind of did, but I renamed it. But we'll start with the $115 to spend thing I got. And it's the ultimate minor inconvenience of a roommate. Because we used to be roommates in college. So think of the worst roommate, the least convenient roommate. All right, because back into it, because Google Gemini is such a genius, they skipped $4, so we're going to skip certain money, but try to make it fair to Quinn. So we will do $1. And to be fair, the $2 bill doesn't exist anymore. So there you go. $3, $4, $5. So for $1, which is they categorize the $1 ones as the slacker for kitchen crimes, they never, ever, 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 ever replace the paper towel roll. For $3, which is the petty or annoying, they use your expensive olive oil without asking. For $4, they put dirty dishes to soak, but leave them sitting there for 4 days. And for $5, they leave empty milk or / juice cartons in the fridge. So think of the most annoying roommate.
So I think I don't mind leaving empty things in the fridge is lame, but that wouldn't be my worst thing. I think of all of those, leaving dishes in the sink to soak is most annoying because then you can't wash your dishes depending on what they are. We've had experience with that. I mean, I don't think a paper towel roll is that bad. I mean, it's kind of annoying. Olive oil, you can spare some olive oil. You know, like depending on how much you use. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna be a big spender here. I'm gonna do the $4 option of leaving dirty dishes in the sink because that's pretty bad.
All right, you got $11 left to spend. Our next category is going to be TV and streaming. So for $1, they leave the TV on a blank "Are you still watching?" screen all night. For $3, they hold on to the TV remote like a hostage, even when they're on their phone, not even paying attention to the TV. For $4, they change the Netflix profile picture / algorithm entirely. I love that that's the $4 one. And for $5, they watch the next 2 episodes of a show that you're binging together while you sleep. So basically you agree, like, oh, we're going to binge watch this show. We're going to watch it together. No spoilers. And they basically lie to you and watch the next few episodes.
Like watching the episodes, I can get over that though. It's annoying, but no, whatever. I don't need to watch it with them. The leaving the TV on overnight is just annoying because it's draining your power, and technically power bill is going to go up, electricity up. Holding on the remote is kind of annoying, but like to be honest, I don't really watch that much TV, and I feel like when in college, like we watched like the football games together and everything, but I feel like we're always on the same page with like what we wanted to watch. So I'm gonna go cheap here since I spent a little more before and just say they leave the TV on overnight, putting up the bill, especially if there's noise while you're sleeping.
The algorithm one's hilarious. Like, we're supposed to be offended that they changed the picture of our algorithm, and like,
yeah.
Oh no, that's got to be high dollar. How dare they?
Yeah. As well.
All right, so you saved some good money because you still got $10 to spend. In next category, or second to last one, is cleanliness. This is a big one. Mm-hmm. So for $1, they leave 1 sip of water in the Brita filter so they don't have to refill it. I know you're a big
that should be
Brita
higher.
Guy.
That should be higher.
Damn it. For $30, they take the trash out, but they don't put a new bag back in the can. I feel like that one may be more. That could be more the $1 one, but not my rules.
Yeah, I can deal with that.
For $4, they track mud or shoes all over the carpet that you just vacuumed. That's pretty bad. And for $5, they leave their hair / shaving stubble completely covering the sink.
I would be tempted to get like the dirty shoes and the $1 of what even was it? The $1 option, but I think I'll just go for the $5 using the stubble hair. That's just gross. Come on. Jeez.
Man, I thought you'd go Brita. I thought you'd go cheap again and go Brita.
Yeah, I got the money to spend,
Not everyone does. Anyway, you do have $5 left because of that, though. That's why you went cheap the first time. And our last category is communication. So for $1, they respond to important questions with just a thumbs up emoji. For $3, they use the "we need to talk" for something completely minor. Sounds like your girlfriend. For $4, they send 12 individual one-word texts instead of one sentence. And for $5, they send a 4-minute voice memos instead of just texting you. So you have to listen to the whole thing.
I'll do that one, I guess. I feel like the first option was more annoying. Of like, oh, here's an important question. They're just like, and don't even answer the question. Useless. But
you like the text.
Honestly, these $1 options might be the best annoying roommate. To be honest,
Yeah, really. The $1 ones, they would never replace the paper towel roll and leave the TV on all night while putting nothing in the Brita filter and respond with a thumbs up emoji. That is pretty
especially
annoying.
those last two. Yeah.
But from what you spent, your roommate leaves the dishes in there. They do soap, but they leave them for 4 days. And they leave the TV on all night, leaving their shaving hair everywhere, and sending a 4-minute voice memo instead of just texting you. Boo, roommate, bad roommate.
Terrible roommate.
Never have a roommate like that, ever. Probably a frat dude that would do something like that. But for my other segment, and I promise we'll come up with an intro for this too, I'm just lazy. We did this before with the red or green flag, where it's kind of a rapid fire where you say red or green flag, but that's a used term. The DQ Frenzy is all about chill and cold takes. So we're going to go with the melt or freeze segment. So the melt basically represents the red flags, and the freeze represents basically a good thing, green flag. While freeze may not sound so positive, that's what we're doing because it's my rules. So melt or freeze. So I have 12 of these scenarios, and you're going to go rapid fire. You can take a little bit of time. You don't have to immediately say it, but a little quick since we're going a little rapid fire of what they would do of these 12 scenarios. So, melt or freeze, taking your shoes and socks off on a commercial flight.
That's melt. That's bad. No one wants that. Stop it. If you do that, put some help.
Stop it. Get some help. Melt or freeze, ordering a well-done steak at a high-end restaurant and asking for A1 sauce. What are we, Patrick Mahomes here?
Yeah, I'd say that's melt. Kind of weird. I mean, if you want your steak well done, I guess whatever floats your boat, man. But then the sauce, the A1 sauce, at a nice restaurant where they take pride in the seasoning. They probably don't even have A1 sauce.
They don't have it. You got to go get it yourself. Melt or freeze, leaving the shopping cart in the middle of the parking space right next to the cart return. Oh, I got it. Oh, that's an easy one for me.
What lazy bastard who can't return their cart? Jeez, I know some people have some issues with mobility, but
put it back, man. Put it back. It's right there. Yeah. The cart.
It's probably right some there. Like college dude too. Like doesn't even care. Or some like middle-aged dude is just like.
Melt or freeze, putting ketchup directly on top of all the fries instead of on the side.
I'd say that's acceptable. That's like a freeze. I mean, I don't think it's the best way to do it. I wouldn't say it's a terrible way, though. I mean, that's fine.
All right. Melt or freeze, another airplane one. Standing up the exact second the airplane lands while you're in the very back row.
Why? I mean, there's no point to it. You're just going to be standing the whole time. Well, actually, I guess if you had a really long flight, just need to stretch your legs. That can be fine.
Well, if there's Well, if it's a little bit bumpy, you might bang your head off of something if you stand
That is
up.
also true. But if you just land, is this like as soon as the wheels touch the ground, or like
As soon as the second it lands, the second it touches the ground.
I mean, they should be fine. It'd probably be a little smoother than they get yelled at. So from a perspective of safety and not, I'll probably say melt. But stand if like the plane comes to a stop at the terminal and you stand up in the back, like maybe your legs are just, I can at least appreciate why you might do that.
All right, melt or freeze answering a FaceTime call in public with no headphones on.
Melt. Don't do it. Stop it. No one wants to hear your conversation in public. Stop it. At least have the damn phone to your ear. No, don't answer calls on speakerphone in public.
I like this. This is amazing. Melt or freeze bringing a full smelly seafood dinner into an office break room microwave.
I mean, if it's just the break room, it's not as bad. But like, I'm gonna say melt. I mean, no one wants to smell the super salty fishiness of your lunch.
This
also,
one
the
is...
people who, I was gonna say, people who answer your calls in public have some decency. No one wants to hear it. I just want to go back to that. What makes you think anyone wants to hear your conversation? We don't.
What if it was our podcast?
Decency.
It's technically
and answer it on your hand, like answer it normally, or at least have headphones.
You got these.
Yeah, see these things? Yeah, they're made for hearing things and other people. This is how you're hearing me. It's how you're hearing. I'm hearing Dylan.
Well, the thing I wish the detail it would have had on that one is if you're answering it in public like this, that's normal. But I think what it meant to do was it's on speaker, like, which that case is just that's just stupid. Either headphones or like a normal person. Don't put it on speaker. Melt or freeze, paying for a $3 coffee with $100 bill.
I mean, that's kind of funny. I would say it's melt because you shouldn't do it. But like, if you only have $100 bill and it's just how it is how it is, But
a lot of melts, man. I think you've only said one freeze. It's crazy. Melt or freeze, saying happy birthday to someone on social media by posting a picture of where you look amazing and they look terrible.
I mean, melt, but it's funny to talk about. No, when it actually happens, well, I guess women are going to be a little more upset about that than guys. I mean, if it's a really bad picture of a guy, though, it's going to be like, bro, what? Why? Like, dude's picking his nose, and you're like, you look great. It's going to be like,
I feel like the guy's more likely to do that because they mess with each other. Like, they screw around.
I mean, it's not very nice to do, so I'll say melt.
Melt or freeze, licking your fingers clean before handing someone a deck of cards to shuffle. Oh, what are they eat? Doritos?
I'm supposed to say freeze, man. What am I supposed to say? Doritos? Yeah, that's a melt. Don't lick your fingers and give something to someone.
This one we might finally get a freeze. This one is maybe more funny. Melt or freeze, pressing the elevator button when it's already visibly lit up.
I mean, I don't say it's anywhere it's bad or good. I mean, it's maybe you walk and hit it and like, oh, it's fine. Freeze, I guess. It doesn't really hurt. People might think you're a little weird, but
or impatient.
Yeah. Bing, 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 bing. Closing the door.
And our final melt or freeze is telling someone a movie spoiler because the movie came out 3 weeks ago. You should have seen it by now.
Is this like a purposeful thing because you're tired of them not watching it?
I could see it maybe just as like they're a conversation. They're talking about things that happened in the movie. Then it's like, I haven't seen it. Why would you say it? And they're like, it came out like 3 weeks ago. More than like, I'm going to intentionally tell you what happened just to spite you. I'm not going to let you see it.
I think it's a fine justification. I mean, like, if they're planning on going and seeing it like soon or had active plans or whatever, then okay. But like, if it's like a big movie, like in high school, I remember like Avengers Endgame came out, and so people were talking about it. I mean, the talk kind of died down, but like a big movie that came out that like a lot of people are going to see or you're planning to see, and then like waiting, I can understand it. It's like it's a fine justification. It's not a peaceful resolution to your argument.
No.
You should probably just be like, sorry, but like there in an argument, there's worse like justifications. I mean,
Now back to answering that call in public.
absolutely not. This random little Darth Vader pillow I used to lean against the wood of my chair with also agrees. Stop it.
On that note, though, that's going to do it for the DQ Frenzy. Because we are so deep in the offseason, expect more of these segments, especially Quinn's Fun Games and the Melter Freeze and the Fun Facts of the Week. Should be an exciting offseason. And we will see you guys next week. Hope you had a great Memorial Day weekend and have fun watching MLB, NBA Finals, Stanley Cup, whatever that happens. And we will see you right back here next week. Who knows when? We don't know anymore.
Who knows what? We'll see you then, whenever that is. Bye, guys.
Keep the phone off of... Keep it off speaker.
Yeah.